Tommy Rees, new play caller for the Cleveland Browns.
Okay.
You think what? They're AB?
I think he made the decision. Did he get pressure from the front office? Did he get pressure from ownership to hand out? Like last year, it just felt like he was kind of washing his hands of it when he decided to give up play calling. Now, I just don't. If it's his way of answering. We have to get better. The coaching staff has to get better. Okay, you guys. I say this every week, and I say we've got to get better. And now people are making fun of me for it. I get that. I understand that. So I'm giving you a reason why I think we can get better, and that get better is maybe having somebody else take a look at the offense we have, and I will oversee it.
Well. I
come back with another line, and this is the second time Jim Tressel got quoted today. I just remember Jim asking, hey, something about giving up play calling. He goes, well, then what else would I do? What is Kevin Stefanski now doing on game day? That's my question.
He's being a head coach.
Okay. Help me. If he's not, is he overriding? I mean, you would think the head coach would override, but then you got a question.
Are you going completely contrasting what most folks would say? Like, well, we don't want him calling plays. We want him being a head coach.
No, I'm not contrasting. I'm asking, what's he going to do?
He's going to be the head coach.
All right.
Tommy Rees, play caller. I'll guarantee you this: if Kevin Stefanski is back next year as head coach,
yeah,
he'll never call plays here again.
This is the second time he's given it up, right?
Yep. You can take the play calling away from yourself once and take it back. You can't take it back twice.
Well, you could if you had to hire another offensive coordinator.
I don't think so, Andy. I think you'd hire another offensive coordinator and give him the gig. I mean, seriously, if Kevin came back next year, let's say Tommy Rees goes and gets a job somewhere. Somebody hires Tommy. I'm going to call plays again. Oh, great. 15.2, here we come.
I don't know. Jeff, if you had to bring in a younger...
Again, I don't think it's Kevin. I think it's talent more than anything.
Yeah, I think if you had to bring in a younger quarterback or a younger coordinator, let's go with that way. If you had to bring in a younger coordinator, that you'd be looking at a situation where you might retrieve the play call.
I don't think he'll ever do it again.
Really?
Tommy Rees is your play caller. Second year in a row that Kevin has given up play calling duties to his offensive coordinator. Last year, it cost his offensive coordinator his job, changed at the end of the year. This year, hopefully, it doesn't cost anybody a job. And it works and it goes well. I'm Jeff Phelps. That's Andy Baskin. Tommy Rees, at the age of 33, is now calling plays.
It'd be interesting to hear what the players have to say about that. I'm interested to see what it looks like. I wonder what it means for Sanders and Gabriel. And you know who else is interested?
Tell me.
Daryl Ryder is, too. Get the latest from Browns practice throughout the week right now on our YouTube channel. Daryl Ryder recaps each and every practice and game while featuring the best highlights from coaches and players during media availability as well as on-the-field action. So subscribe to 92.3 The Fan, the YouTube channel that we have right now, the 92.3 The Fan YouTube channel. Do it now and get all the latest from Daryl Ryder on the Browns throughout the football season.
So Tommy Rees gets this gig now. Tommy, I just mentioned, is 33. He's in his second year on the Browns staff. Last year, he came in as the tight ends coach and like passing game coordinator type guy. He came here from Alabama and did not have a banjo on his knee, but he did have a pretty good resume. Sorry.
Bad
reference?
Yeah,
Thanks.
bad reference.
As the offensive coordinator at Alabama, it was in Nick Saban's last year as head coach. Nick Saban brought him in. But Nick Saban brought in a lot of offensive coordinators, and I believe it was 6 offensive coordinators in Nick's last 8 years. He had 6 different guys. Tommy Rees replaced Bill O'Brien, former Houston Texans head coach, and of course assistant with New England and been around. Bill and Penn State head coach. He replaced Bill O'Brien as the play caller, and Alabama went 12-2 and averaged 34 points a game. Okay, it was Alabama, big-time college football.
He's a smart guy. He went to Notre Dame.
Without question.
He's coached at Northwestern, the Chargers, back to Notre Dame. You talked about Alabama.
He played college quarterback at Notre Dame.
Yeah. So
at Alabama, just for argument here, his quarterback was Jalen Milroe, as we recall.
Yeah.
In the year that he called plays, and he was only there 1 year. Jalen Milroe. His wide receivers were Jermaine Burton, who has shown flashes of being really good with the Cincinnati Bengals, but has also shown, hey, this guy can't get on the field because he's a knucklehead, for lack of a better way of putting it. He's had things that have kept him off the field.
But he's also got a couple good wide receivers ahead of him, too. So.
Yeah, well, yes, but he actually is, I think he's a good wide receiver. Trade deadline, keep that in mind. We're looking for wide receivers on other teams.
You want to give him somebody to be comfortable? You want to give him a whoopee?
Well, he has one. His name's Isaiah Bond.
Yeah.
Isaiah was a wide receiver at Alabama with Tommy Rees. And then Isaiah transferred to Texas, and Tommy Rees came to Cleveland. So can we look for an uptick in Isaiah Bond with a play caller who called plays for him at Alabama? That might be something. Before Reese was at Alabama, he was at Notre Dame as the quarterback coach and offensive coordinator in 3 years, I believe it was, of calling the plays at Notre Dame. And he called him for Brian Kelly, who wanted to hire Reese to go to LSU with him. And instead, Reese stayed at his alma mater, stayed at Notre Dame, and called plays for Marcus Freeman. 31-8 as a play caller at Notre Dame. So he obviously has been successful at good college football programs calling plays. I don't know how much credibility you can put into that. And I say that for this reason. Okay, if you have Nick Saban as your head coach and he's recruiting at Alabama and you don't put up a lot of points, well, then it's your fault, you know?
True. Yes. That's a great point, Jeff. I don't know what to expect. I don't know that things are going to change. Maybe they'll have a little bit of a spark this week. I don't know if this coincides with maybe a quarterback. Maybe they're looking at the quarterbacks a little different too. Again, Kevin said we've got to be better. In fact, he says it almost every press conference when they lose. So if he feels like this is going to make them better, well, here's your opportunity.
Yeah.
What happens if it doesn't make them better?
It's interesting because in just some quick double checking on Reese, I saw one article when he was at Notre Dame and said he was really great at getting the most out of the tight ends and the offensive line. He went to Alabama and said he's really going to emphasize the running game and developing quarterbacks. Okay, so he's really good with tight ends, offensive line, running backs, and quarterbacks. Okay, great.
You know he had a nickname too.
Tommy?
Turnover Tommy.
Hey!
So.
Well, he's calling plays.
Yeah, at least he's not throwing the ball.
Starts on Sunday against the Jets.
Let me flip the script on this, right? What if this is Kevin just going, look, you guys think it's bad with me calling plays? All right. I accept that. You think it's bad. You think it's me? Okay. I think it's okay. You want to think that? What happens now that if he hands it over to somebody else and it looks exactly the same? So is that not screaming we need more talent?
Well, anybody can look at this offense, and if anybody thinks it has enough talent, they don't know football. I don't mean to be that blunt.
No, I think you're right.
Since we had Jarvis and Odell, this thing has been lacking for wide receiver depth.
Kevin, he's just like he's got the dust from trying to make some bread, some flour on his hand. Going, okay, you know what? You don't like the way I'm making the bread? I clean my hands of it. Now let's see somebody else make the bread with these bad ingredients. Oh, it's not rising for another person either. Maybe it isn't all me. Maybe it's the ingredients we're buying. We can do better than this. We can buy better ingredients.
I think Kevin's history as a play caller shows that it's not him. Though I think that's an interesting point. Sorry, I've watched Kevin.
Was this point the interesting point?
No, that was it. You were dusting off the flour.
Thought that was pretty good for radio. On TV,
though he drove me nuts by not giving the ball to Nick Chubb when they were in the red zone. That's the only thing Kevin has done as a play caller that's really driven me up a wall.
Not using Nick on third down?
No, not using Nick when they were, like first and goal from the 7. Instead throwing 3 times.
Yeah.
The heck you doing? Right. So that one drove me nuts. I think overall Kevin has done a good job when he's had talent. When he's been given talent, I think he's been a good play caller. And sorry, guy who orchestrated the greatest show on turf thinks the same thing.
Yeah,
if not more so, Mike Martz.
Yeah.
And
heard him say
it. I could think this, Andy. If the offense stinks with Tommy Reese calling plays, then yes, your point is valid, and it might put Kevin in a different light with ownership. If there was any thought that, good Lord, Kevin's calling these plays, the offense has stunk 2 years in a row, we need a new head coach. If the offense stinks 2 years in a row and you've had 3 different guys calling the plays, 3,
right,
then it's clearly not the play caller, is it? Because
I don't know that it's clear.
Tommy Rees was good in college.
Yeah.
Dorsey has had a good track record throughout most of his NFL career as a coach. You know, he's not a nincompoop.
No, you're right. He's not. I don't think he is.
So, I mean, 3 guys. Tommy Rees is considered a young star in the offensive coaching game. Okay, if the offense stinks with Kevin, Dorsey, and Reese calling plays, then clearly it's, I mean, to me anyway, clearly it's the offensive talent. However, combine that with 3 different play callers, of course it is. Of course it is. I think. You?
Yeah, I just don't think the talent's there. I don't think it matters who's going to call the plays. And maybe they catch a spark because they have a new play caller. Maybe there's a spark that's there. Could happen. But what does that spark mean? You're 2-6. Like, really? How much is this going to change things? Oh, suddenly, look, if the offense starts putting up 25-plus points a game, I'm all in, man. They made the greatest move ever. But I still think the talent that Tommy's using is the same talent that Kevin used. And I don't expect anything to change.
Let me throw another weird thought at you.
It makes you wonder what Shedeur would look like if his back is okay. That's what it does. It adds more to that.
There's no basis in fact for this. I'm
I
throwing
love
it out
these.
anyway. I know you do.
Jeff Phelps speculates.
If you're going to trade David Njoku.
Okay. I don't know that that's happening, but go ahead.
Exactly.
Yep.
One of the big weapons for Tommy Rees when he was at Notre Dame was tight end Michael Mayer, who's with the Las Vegas Raiders and was a second-round pick.
Uh-huh.
And then the next year they took Brock Bowers in the first round, and Mayer completely back up. And he missed a lot of time last year. He had some issues that he was away from the team for a long time. Never really disclosed. You want to trade Njoku? Okay. You want to get another tight end in here so you have your 2 tight end set? There's just a guy with a background with Tommy Rees. Something to think about there. I'm glad Cedric Tillman's back. Andy, think about this. Trade deadline tomorrow, 4 o'clock. We've heard some rumblings about wide receivers. Who knows? Andrew Berry, I think, has made his best trades in picking up wide receivers. Amari Cooper, Jerry Jeudy. Those were both good trades. Even though Judy's not been anybody's Hall of Famer since he's been here, I think Jerry is still a competent NFL wide receiver. If you could add a pretty good wide receiver at the trade deadline to Jerry Jeudy, Cedric Tillman, Isaiah, then the young guys you're bringing along, Bond, Thrash, Corley, you could add somebody pretty good. That changes things a lot there, doesn't it?
It does. It definitely does.
So that would, because if you get Tillman back, I think Ced's a good young player, and I'm anxious to see what more he can do. And if you could bring in somebody with a track record who's pretty good, even a guy like Jacoby Myers, who is with the Raiders and has said all along, do you want to get traded still? Oh, yeah. He wants out.
Yeah, I still think that they believe in Bond, and that if Bond can benefit from the change in play callers,
he played under Tommy Rees in Alabama.
Yeah, so maybe that'll make him more comfortable. Maybe that'll change things. Maybe he'll be able to contribute more.
Maybe he knows how to get the ball to Isaiah Bond because he did it before.
Or you were a big fan of Malachi Corley in that last game. Just give him the ball and let him run.
Malachi's had one touch in the last game.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly think there are some guys here who are intriguing enough that I'd like to see him get the ball more. But, man, if you could go out and get one of those guys who are rumored out there on the, as potential trade targets, I don't know how you don't.